Welcome to Dan ARG YouTube. Ize-Iyamu say Monday Okpebholo, the Edo State governor, must put a stop to court killings in Edo State. He don't put mouth for so many things for this video. Try watch am from beginning to the end. Make I leave you now, make you hear from Ize-Iyamu. Enjoy the video.
You agree with me that in less than 48 hours of Senator Monday Okpebholo assumption into office as executive governor, he has made bold steps to show that he is an independent fellow. A lot of people, I want to talk about my brother here, City Nigeria, the person of Abat Obaze, came out to say yesterday that the Oshomole camp, you know, the Jarrett, the Ize-Iyamu, the former deputy governor Philip Shaibu, and a lot of other political leaders are wanting to hand twist Oshomole. But very few hours ago, I also watched it on his page where he came out to say Oshomole is not playing. So for me, it is a laughable thing. What I ensured the entire AC votes, you know, over 80% of the votes got to Senator Monday Okpebholo. And it took a lot of job, only to the fact that, you know, a lot of our people are very much angry with the APC-led government at the center. And that affects us during the elections. But thank God that a larger population of Edo people decided to support Senator Monday Okpebholo, and today is the governor of Edo State. There are a lot of things that have gone wrong with Edo State, particularly the misappropriation of our public funds, our collective patrimony. There are a lot of things that have also gone wrong with societal values as it relates to our day-to-day activities as Edo people, particularly amongst us, the youths. You agree with me that in virtually every family in Edo, today you have one cultist or the other. Yes. It's kind of my small phone. A warm good afternoon to you all, my conscious Edo people. I remain no other person than yours, noble rider activist, Comrade Okpebholo Emmanuel. If you're just joining me live, I want you to please invite as many as you can. And if you're joining me live, I want you to also join me to thank our most distinguished senator, now governor of Edo State, Senator Monday Okpebholo, the executive governor of Edo State. I want you all to join me in thanking him. It's not been easy thus far. The senator has started his government, and a lot of insignificant political actors wanted to jeopardize his instance in government. And thus far, I believe conscious Edo people are very much aware of what actually transpired within the last 24 hours. So if you want to hear what I have to say today as it relates to cultism, as it relates to killings in Edo, particularly among the cult rival groups we have in Edo, ranging from all the cult groups I'll be mentioning shortly, I want you to please invite our Edolites and concerned Nigerians across the globe. I remain no other person than yours, noble rider activist. I know you guys for quite some time will always say, Ize-Iyamu will say it's coming up live, 4 p.m. join me live, and you will never see me. Yeah, I agree. But I want to tell you guys the truth. A lot of issues that have made me not to be live at an instant time when I've said that I'll be live, I think a lot of those issues have been put to rest. Now the business of how we politic to make Edo better for all of us, to make Edo a more secure place for all of us, is what has become our sense of concern. There are a lot of things that have gone wrong with Edo State, particularly the misappropriation of our public funds, our collective patrimony. There are a lot of things that have also gone wrong with societal values as it relates to our day-to-day activities as Edo people, particularly amongst us, the youths. You agree with me that in virtually every family in Edo, today you have one cultist or the other. So telling a government to place an outright ban on the activities of cult groups and their presence in Edo is not just a heckling tax, but is a tax that must be fulfilled. Because whether you like it or not, murder is murder. If you wake up in the morning and say because you don't like the face of someone, you kill the person, it is a capital offense in our constitution as a people, in the law that guides us as a people, and one should be made to suffer for it. So I know a lot of you are out there wanting me to be live, and now I'm live. I want to believe that a lot of people have different opinions over the Okpebholo government, but I want to tell you, if you observe within the last 48 hours, some of us came up and said the governor should place a ban on these people. Neither did they win their units, or neither did they come with block votes that is making them believe that they have a stake that is better than some of us who work tirelessly. I did not only win my unit as a concerned AC man, I ensured the entire AC votes, over 80% of the votes got to Senator Monday Okpebholo. And it took a lot of job, only to the fact that, a lot of our people are very much angry with the APC-led government at the center. And that affects us during the elections. But thank God that a larger population of Edo people decided to support Senator Monday Okpebholo, and today is the governor of Edo State. So if you want us to put our heads together to talk more about the ban on cultists and cultist related activities that have made Edo people to lose a lot of life, I want you all to please, this very moment, we are over 60 of us watching, I want you all to please share this broadcast, share and invite. And I will say a lot of things today that will surprise a lot of people. I'm an activist. I know in the past I've not done things very right. I know I've also not been so perfect, but at least to an extent I have stood for what I believe in. And standing for what I believe in is not what benefits me in person, but the collective interest of Edo people. You agree with me that in less than 48 hours of Senator Monday Okpebholo assumption into office as executive governor, he has made bold steps to show that he is an independent fellow. A lot of people, I want to talk about my brother here, City Nigeria, the person of Abat Obaze, came out to say yesterday that the Oshomole camp, the Jarrett, the Ize-Iyamu, the former deputy governor Philip Shaibu, and a lot of other political leaders are wanting to hand twist Oshomole. But very few hours ago, I also watched it on his page where he came out to say Oshomole is not playing. So for me, it is a laughable thing. What is concerned in all political actors at the moment is to see how Edo can get better roads, is to see how Edo can get infrastructure that can make life much more meaningful and easier for our people within the metropolis and in our various woods and villages as far as we are concerned. But however, I want you all to believe that Senator Monday Okpebholo has started, checkmating governance. Checkmating in the sense that he has been taking decisions that will reflect a true picture of what governance should be. And I also want to be very happy that some of the critics that has over the time talked down on Senator Monday Okpebholo addressed him as a man who is not decisive and who cannot take decisions to better the lots of Edo. I want to believe that from their broadcasts where they have been talking from both sides of their mouths, I want to believe that the world is not seeing that Senator Monday Okpebholo is not being televised or stage managed by any political individual. He's taking decisions that he feels is best in the interest of protecting the unity of Edo. And thus far, despite the fact that you see that a lot of people say that Pastor Ize-Iyamu, the former deputy governor, and Jared Tinebe and some host of party leaders have been against Oshomole, you have seen thus far that Oshomole and his people have also been recognized in this government, even getting the office of the chief of staff, his son getting a commissioner, a A lot more appointments are still on the way, on the pipeline, but I want you all to see that it is not all about what they think, it is about what the governor feels is best. That is the emphasis I want to make. And I also want to, at this junction, congratulate Honorable Gani Audu, who is now the Chief of Staff appointed and will be sworn in any moment soon, I think sometime next week, to carry on his duty as the Chief of Staff to the Executive Governor of Edo State in the person of Senator Monday Okpebholo. So I want to be happy that government is taking form, and in no distant time, a lot of other persons who feel that they are not captured in the scheme of things will definitely get one appointment or the other. My interest is to ensure that Edo becomes a better place for all. For some of us, we are still very young. A lot of people have been calling me, "Ma, what appointment will they give?" I'm not hustling for appointments. Already, I have a role in the society, and my role is to ensure that Edo becomes a better place for all of us. And thus far, I have always played it out. I have come out to criticize the Obaseki-led government. I made them to understand that there are a lot of things that are wrong with this government. And in no distant time, with the quality of persons I have seen manning the office of the Attorney General and now the Chief of Staff, I believe a lot of news will be let out the cat, the bag, in no distant time. In no distant time, a lot of things will be open to the minds of Edo people, and most Edo people will be shocked to see revealing facts on how governance has been so bad, particularly the most MOUs that were used to sell Edo to business associates outside Edo State. Once again, I remain no other person than your Snubble Ride activist. If you're watching me, we're currently 88 at this moment. That's currently watching. I want you all to please share. I want the viewing button to hit up to 100 or even 2, because in the course of our discussion this afternoon, I'm going to be saying a lot of things that is actually the fact and the issues affecting Edo youths, particularly that have made us to go to the path of cultism. 70% of the persons who orchestrate this cult-related crisis are not Aboriginal Edo people. They are mostly people who come across Delta tribe, the Eastern tribe, the Middle Belt tribe, and also the Ijaw tribe. They have turned Edo into a blood war center, particularly Benin City, where killings are done for not just viable corpse. Where killings, in fact, in Edo, you have had more killings reported in the last 1 year than most troubled states like the Southeast. People kill on a daily basis because they want to show supremacy of color. People kill for that reason. So if you want me to say a lot of things, about what I know about these things, because you have police officers, that's the saddest part of it. You have police officers who are known to be cultists, in fact, who have been seen in cult-related issues and alleged to have killed, that are still serving till tomorrow in the police. What that implies is that we cannot get out of it, not until when we begin to sanitize the system that ought to checkmate the excesses of these few elements that are troubling and putting Edo in the bad light before the general world. Now, you agree with me that I requested that this viewing button, gets up to 100. If 80 of you are watching me decides to share this broadcast now, I bet you can hit 1,000 views, because I've been seeing a lot of things today that actually reflects what the true problems are. Because you see elderly persons who are supposed to play advisory role to the younger ones, you see them encouraging these cult-related activities. You see some of them initiating younger ones. You see some of them, sponsoring people from whatever sphere of life to go on with these killings. In fact, people, particularly those of you in the diaspora who are cult members, they make provisions for finances to fund these killings. You can imagine where somebody who works in an economy where he can work $100 in an hour decides to donate 1 hour of his work pay to promoting the activities of cult killings in Edo. You can imagine what that can be. And you have them across all the cult groups. If it is the Vikings, you have them both in Edo and in the diaspora and outside Nigeria and in Nigeria. If it's the Eye, You have them in Nigeria, you have them outside Nigeria. You see them doing their conventions in most countries, showcasing their colors in their berets and everything. If it's their years, you have them, of course, all over the world, and particularly you have them even in Edo State here. And most of them are also in government. Very many of them find themselves around the corridors of power. If it's Mafite, you have them. A lot of them were in the past administration. If it's the Tutu, you have them. If it's the jurists, you have them. All these cult groups exist in Edo State. But what pains me more about them is that despite their large numbers and their swear for ruggedity and flair to be killers, they have never thought it wise to empower their members in doing positive things that will help humanity. You see some of them go to public institutions, build classrooms, give school books in the name of one organization that they registered with CAC or the other. And at the end of the day, they deny that they are not the same members or they are not the same people killing on the street, which we all know that is not the true picture. But what has pained me more that over time they have not been able to empower most of their members. I can agree with you that growing up, some of us believe that by the time you join one form of secret cult or the other, it empowers you to get more money or become more influential in the society. But these days, you see motor parked out, you see those people selling illicit drugs, you see armed robbers, wheelbarrow pushers, all form of unskilled persons becoming cult members. Whereas in those days, when these cult groups were founded, it was only meant for those persons within the four walls of the university. It is on this guide that we are coming out to say that the governor must place a ban on cultism. And two, the public prosecution, which happens to fall under the office of the Attorney General and the Department of Public Prosecution, which is the DPP, the governor also has to overhaul it because they inform 90% of why these cult members believe that they can do and get away with what they have done. Because a lot of them, have vested interest in one form of community crisis or one form of cult group. Some of them, their members are members of the NBA. Some of these cult groups, their members are the thick and thin in the society. So they play around it. They play around it because they don't want certain people to work. Who is that? A minute, please. I'm busy. They don't want certain people to play around, justice. Or rather, they want certain people to play around justice for them. Please, I'm busy. I'll get back to you shortly. I'm busy. Excuse me, please. So, sorry for that disturbance. So, these people, they find themselves in one form of authority or the other. They influence their members to a negative stance. That is what I'm trying to say. I know I made a few mistakes because of the distraction I'm getting from both sides here. So, why am I calling for the ban of these cult groups? Number one, you don't see cult groups say that, let us empower our members so that they can be productive in agriculture, so that they can be productive in trade, so that they can be productive in one form of entrepreneurship skill or the other. But what you see them do is that they, make them to feel very comfortable attending parties, one form of convention where they go to spray money and show wealth and show who is big and who is thick. But they forget one thing, that what their group is supposed to stand for is to see how they can empower a brother to be better. The only thing you see them empowering themselves on these days is only to do yahoo and internet fraud. They have no sense of supporting their members to grow in various skilled institutions, as the case may be. They enjoy supporting their members to kill. They enjoy supporting their members to carry out lawlessness. They have never shown any form of support for their members. That is why Under the past administration, I wrote several petitions against public officials who were in this cult group. Now, My Excellency, I was not supposed to be saying this thing on the social media, but why I'm saying it on the social media so that people will know that this is what I stand for in this government. All the number one of all this cult group, whether Iye, whether Mafite, whether Bukaniano, whether Tutu, whether Ayezo, all the number one of this cult group must be brought under undertaking. They must sign an undertaking that if any cult killings happen in Edo, they are going to hold them responsible. Because, why am I saying this? In all of these cult groups, they have, in fact, their demography is much more organized than even the demography of INEC. In most villages, like I come from a rural area, rural settings, my village is not, within the metropolitan axis of Benin. You still have cult groups existing there. You have the Vikings, you have the Ayers, you have the Ayers. They still carry this dirty fight even to the villages. Now, with this that demographic spread, the number one is to ensure that he calls all his number one in all of their area, their zones as they call it, or whatever name they call it, to also be in conformity that whatever issues that they feel they have that cannot be reported to the agencies to take responsible action, they should approach the court, or better still, report to the law enforcement agency. And if they cannot report to the law enforcement agency, none of them should go to any form of arms to create whatever impression of settlement or dispute resolution. If we are not doing this, you are only just playing to the gallery that you want to fight cultism, and cultism will still remain. Killings will still remain very much around. You can imagine even within the trading axis of Benin, a lot of these our people engage in killing. Just yesterday, a young man was shot dead at what was it called? At Cook Road. He was the former chairman of Cook Road. He was shot dead right on the spot at Cook Road. And for me, I would ask those people who have come out to kill him in broad daylight, how come thousands of Nigerians were watching at him and he shot one, shot two, shot three, shot four, and they never made attempts, despite the fact that these persons came on foot to apprehend them? They never came to say they should apprehend them. Thus far, the only group of people I have seen that have been apprehending cultists, even those who go to kill, are mostly the vigilantes. And when the vigilantes, when they apprehend these cultists, they hand over them to the police. If you tell the police to show you a statistics of over 100 or 1,000 cultists that they have arrested to police that was charged to court, you see that those people were granted bail, and in one way or the other, the case was thrown out for lack of merit. These are people who confess to be known cultists. In fact, most of them, when they catch them, they even see their signs and symbols on their mobile phones. At some point in my life, when I saw that this killing was becoming too disgusting for my liking, I decided to stop soliciting or going to beg the police for anybody that is a cultist. I decided to beg the police, to stop begging the police, because I realized that my intervention for these people still encourage them to believe that yes, there is no law in the country or in the state that can ensure and censure that these killings must continue. So my conscious Edo people, why are we calling for the ban of cultists today? It's because of the high level of genocide, homicide cases that these cultists are carrying. The Fulani bandit that we shouted, Fulani invading our farm, Fulani, the Fulani did not do 1/10 of what these cult groups are doing to ourselves. It is not the Fulani that are killing us, it is we ourselves that are killing ourselves in the name of color. These colors were not founded by Africa, these colors were founded by the Europeans. And in one way or the other, they introduced cultism to us by way of the educational standards that we operate. Today now, the cult groups are on the streets. Even in amongst this cult group where you have the pirates, you hardly hear that say they go drop one pirate from one junction, they go drop the other pirate. It is these people that have refused to involve themselves into good ventures. For crying out loud, if these cult groups today were saying that they want food sufficiency, and they mobilized all their members in the 18 local government and 192 ward to occupy the vast land or the vast unutilized land, farmland of Edo. You see that the price of food will drop drastically. So I would want to appeal that while our governor places a ban, the lawmakers should also go and amend the laws to say that anybody that is caught in the name of cultism should be made to face a farming season for 20 years, and 30% of what he farms for that 20 years will be given to him while his tenure is expiring, and the remaining 70% will be thrown into government coffers to ensure that more cultists are being caught. By the time government does that for 2 years in government, I can tell you nobody will carry gun to kill anybody in the name of cult. It is just because politics have married itself, and cultism has in one way or the other narrowed themselves into the political atmosphere as citizens of the state. And at the end of the day, you will see that these people find themselves in the corridors of power. A lot of them are in government, but what pains me more is that they've not been able to utilize that their political leadership that they have gotten to influence their members, but rather they influence their members in negative ways. When I mean negative ways, very, very many negative ways. The high reason why cultism today is flourishing in Edo is because of the fact that they know that when they kill, they can get away with it. Somebody will kill in Igboba Hill, he will run to Upper. Somebody will kill in Upper, he will run to St. Saviour. Somebody will kill in St. Saviour, he will run to Siloko Road. At the end of the day, after they come, he will return back to that area and be walking freely on the streets. It is because none of these their leaders in these streets are held accountable. It is not just enough to say you place a ban. When you place the ban, you follow it up for it to get to the grassroots. Because these people are believing that there is lawlessness. That was why in my broadcast a few days ago, I came out to say that those persons who were shooting at Rama Park are the ones also killing innocent youths in Edo. They are killing these youths not because they make money out of it. No, it's because one, listen, you have people supporting them financially from the diaspora. Two, they also make money out of community crisis. A large member of community leaders you have in Edo South here who parade themselves as chairman and okaigiles are mostly members of these cult groups. You can hardly see a community chairman who does not belong to a secret cult. In fact, some of them, why they are chairman of the community, because of the crisis they find themselves involved in, they go to join one secret cult or the other. I've seen very many. That is why today some of us have more information than even the state about cultism. A lot of these cult heads find themselves in campaigns of politicians. Some of them even make up a campaign list of various campaign groups. For crying out loud, even when the police came from Abuja to arrest certain persons who are cultists and who shot at policemen and killed policemen on the airport road, they were hiding them in government house. So how do you expect such a person tomorrow not to find himself around the corridors of power, knowing fully well that when he kills, government will protect him? So my conscious Edo people, society can not only be built by one man being the governor. It's only there to take decisive decisions for the betterment of all. I can see somebody saying here that you supported them, you inserted Obaseki when he banned them. I was the very first person to commend Obaseki. I think those were one of the times I commended him for placing a ban on cultism. For placing a ban on cultism. See, let us keep politics aside. There are some things that the principles of life will not allow me to support. And in no distant time, when the government comes out with a position, because they are carrying out a lot of investigations into the understanding of memorandum that Obaseki signed, when a lot of things that they said they did for Edo are owned by private individuals, whereas Edo money was used to procreate those things by way of our laws and procurement. So for me, I want to believe that if we put our heads straight and take a decisive decision, a vast majority of these young men, Edo has a vast land, all the way from Okpebholo to Ibilo, all the way from Ibilo to Onwa to Sabongida Ora to Igwebe to Eho. Eho down to Igbanke down to Okorionwo down to Okpebholo, down to Idogbo down to Ekenwa Road. We have vast untapped land that runs into thousands of hectares. But it is because government has not thought it wise to invest in agriculture that every day you have over 50 to 80 trucks loaded with food coming in from the north that do not have the kind of fertile land that we have here in Edo. So what does that imply? Government should invest in ensuring that majority of these people who are jobless, they form cooperatives and they are integrated into farming. And one other key point again before I forget, the government should also throw a window for some of them to come forward and renounce this cultism so that they can be able, to have some level of defense when they are caught. Because I can appeal to some of you that some of these people will say we are no longer in court, a secret court, we don't practice again, but they remember they've not renounced. And tomorrow, when you arrest them, they'll say they don't do it again. Ignorance is not an excuse before the law. So government should throw a window, like a kind of amnesty, tell them to come forward, they will pardon them, they renounce cultism, then you send them to the farm, particularly those that don't have job. And lastly again, what instigates these people to go and kill is the hard drugs that they take. In virtually all the streets in Benin, you have one group of persons selling drugs, intoxicants, be it crack, be it Indian hemp. Indian hemp is even better. Be it Thailand or marijuana or whatever they call it, be it cocaine, be it heroin. They sell all these drugs. In fact, particularly in our metropolitan, Redo, Okpebholo, and Ego, you see a lot of these people selling it even right inside their houses where they live. So, and if you go to those places day in day out, you see a lot of these young people who kill. You see them there after they must have killed or robbed or stolen from one part of the town to the other. They take the proceeds of this their crime to exchange for drugs. It happens here in Edo on a very high scale. On a very, very high scale. So my conscious Edo people, I want to commend the governor for placing a ban on those reckless unions that came out to shoot gun because they want to take over garage. But one thing I will not leave this broadcast without saying is that it is because of Paseki Agbero in the garage say they don't want to go, that they are members of the community and they must remain there to do the revenue job. That is why you see that the Agberos to say that supported APC, that's why you see them saying to say they want to come and forcefully take over. And you have seen the government in its own wisdom. The government came all out to say, yes, we must place a ban on their activities. And as of today, the government has since banned the activities in the state. This is as a result of the fact that the governor is serious to ensure that the safety of life and property. However, it's too quick, but we must commend those administrative policies of government that has been taken so far, so as to encourage the government to continuously do more. Because you know what has beclouded the media space over time is that the governor was working to ensure that Edo degenerates or deteriorates into a lawless place. But thus far, both the opposition, both the incumbent, both the non-state actors can agree that the governor is not playing blind eyes to issues that matter as it borders to our day-to-day existence as a people. So as every concerned Edo, in a couple of days, probably by Tuesday, it's because I have a lot of sea of old documents. If you look on my bed, you see I've been working on so many files because I have a lot of jobs that have not been attended to and people have been calling me. But because you cannot marry activism and leave people's work to be on the pending when they are paid for the services particularly, that is why we are marrying the two of them together. So we'll be coming all out to push a campaign to place a ban on cultism, an outright ban, and we need the support of everybody, because most of you, your brothers at home are cultists. You don't know the day they will kill them. There's nobody that they have killed in cultists that they announce that tomorrow we are coming to kill you. They just see them on the road, they kill them. They go to wait for them in their houses, when they are coming back, they kill them. They see them in front of their family, they kill them. There's nobody that they say today we must go and kill Osasu. Osasu is a member of Black Ass. Tomorrow we are going to kill Osapanwa. Osapanwa is a member of Mafite. Next tomorrow, nobody plans the death day. These things are organized crime that criminals do, and they walk away with it because they say there is court clash. And at the end of the day, just as I rightly said, the police is the one to be blamed. The police, why do I say so? The police sometimes, they arrest these persons, they take monies and they leave them. In most time also too, they charge them to court. But in very many occasions when they charge them to court, the DPP also see how they can amend charges. I have seen where DPP hide a statement form of criminals or of complainants so as to prosecute innocent persons. And I've also seen when DPP remove statement of complainants so as to pave way for criminals to be let loose out of incarceration. So it is this bad. So in all of these areas we'll be touching it. But particularly my first point of call is to see how we can end cultism in Edo State, because cultism is not our tradition. Cultism is not our tradition. Within the last 2 weeks, within the last, let me say 3 weeks, we have lost over 40 persons to court-related killings. So once again, I believe we can do better as a people. So let us join hands with government to see how we can put an end to these reckless court killings. Once again, I remain no other person than yours noble right activist, Comrade Ize-Iyamu Emmanuel. Bye for now. Thank you.
We don't hear from Emmanuel Ize-Iyamu. Let us know what you think for comment section. If you never subscribe to Dan ARG YouTube, try make you subscribe so that make you for the hear all the things wey dey happen for Nigeria. Make I leave you with this video, make you help us share am. Thank you for watching Dan ARG YouTube.